What's up everybody, my name is Jim Garitsis from RB Power. This is my R32 GTR. Welcome to RB Power Garage. I started in the car industry way back as a teenager. Obviously way back then I started building Camaros. I was more into the American muscle scene. One day, of course, as my son was getting older, he says to me, "Hey Dad, let's try an import." I'm like, okay, I was a little hesitant at first, but I thought, okay, why not? So we bought our first ever import, which happened to be a Mitsubishi Eclipse all-wheel drive with GSX. Very interesting. It's a whole different world, but it was very interesting for that matter. We weren't really, the platform wasn't something that we liked, especially being used to rear-wheel drive at the time, so we got rid of that car right away. And the next purchase we did was an S14 240SX that we bought. That car really started it all for us. As soon as we got it, it had just a bone stock KA in it. So we then swapped it to an SR20, so we got familiar with the SR platform. And then as soon as we got that power platform down, which didn't take long, we were thirsting for an RB. So we actually purchased our first RB way back when, we're talking 2011, 2010, 2011. And everything's been history since then. My ultimate dream was a GTR. So the moment, of course, these became legal, I jumped on them in 2015, the first year that the GTRs were legal in the United States. I purchased my first GTR, and the rest from there is smooth sailing, I guess. So when I bought this GTR, you can imagine it was bone stock gray, as most of them are. I actually traveled to Texas to pick this up. I didn't really care too much to import myself. I was hearing a lot of interesting stories, and this is not to say anything negative about importers by all means, but I wanted to get something that I could see, something that I could drive, something that was already here. First thing I did was we did some upgrades, bolt-on upgrades. You know, we managed to bring the car from about 300 to about 450, 470 horsepower. Then we did a little bit more, added some Tomei turbos, this and that, and brought that car up to about 600 horsepower. And then I realized that, of course, getting used to the power range, obviously like anybody else, you want more. So we were sitting watching TV one day. We were going through a YouTube channel, watching our friend Andrew Hawkins from Motive DVD, and he was explaining some things, and we happened to catch an interview that they were doing at the time. It was a guy from Motorsports Mechanical, the company down there. They do a lot of great things with GTRs. They've built a lot of high-performance cars, some of the fastest cars around. So I happened to call the guy, Mick Mansour is the guy's name, and I said, hey, listen, I'm looking for a reliable 1,000+ horsepower GTR. I already have the GTR. I need somebody to build me one. And they immediately stepped up to the plate. So they built this engine. This is a Nitto-built full bottom end. It's got all Nitto internals, Nitto crank, pistons, rods, rings. The head's been all done, all Supertech stuff in the head, Supertech valve, springs, retainers. It's got a Nitto oil pump, Hypertune intake manifold, Hypertune exhaust manifold, drive-by-wire that's set up. It's running a 76-75 Precision Gen 2 turbo. Great turbo, shout out to Precision, because before we bought this turbo, we were really hesitant on what to do. We wanted to not have a lot of lag, and we really thought this would be very laggy. It kicks in a lot faster than what we expected, so we're very happy with that. Other than that, everything's been built on this car from A to Z. We've got DSS axles front and back, GK Tech suspension parts all around, BC coilovers, LMG T4s for the wheels. Very pleased. The car made just over 1,088 horsepower and 39 pounds of boost, which we're very, very happy with. The car currently right now is detuned a little bit. We're right about 850, 860 horsepower right now. I'm using ECU Masters, EMU Black that I'm using. Been very happy with that ECU. It does everything and anything that all the other ECUs or top-end ECUs will do. And I've been very happy with it since then. Now that we've done this car, we've been very fortunate to build many other GTRs in the meantime. We have attempted to go down a drag strip with this car 4 times. The first time we broke both front axles. The second time we broke both rear axles. The third time we had issues with the drive shaft. We've just been very unfortunate with going down the track. And the thing is, we wanted to go down the track a lot faster than what we've anticipated right now, but we've been so busy at our shop. In our shop right now, we also have it's a sequential transmission from Samsonis. That is what's going in the car very, very soon. You want to work on your own cars, but then when you have 9, 10, 11 Skylines in your shop and people are expecting their work to be done, obviously you have to put your work aside. But we're very close and we're ready for the sequential. The moment the sequential is going in, the car's going back. When we did go to the track, even when we had issues, we still managed to do a trap speed of 148 miles an hour. So the car is set up to go fast based on other facts and what we've been hearing and what's been shared with us, especially down in Australia. It has a Duloc body kit. Those who know Duloc, it's a great company. They won't sell just a bumper to you. You have to buy the whole kit. The actual paint on the car is Viper Red, which obviously I love. Red is my favorite color. Other than that, as far as the exterior, it has a custom hood. It does its job, I'll tell you. We got a Motive DVD duct here so that the turbo gets a lot of air. And yeah, that's about it for the exterior part of it. We're running 2000cc injectors. We have 2 AEM fuel pumps with 2 AEM filters. It's a -10 that's feeding and a -8 that's going back. So we're getting tons of fuel, obviously. It could use more if we do boost it up. It wouldn't even hurt to add a 3rd pump, to be honest. We are running on E85 and we've been happy with that setup so far. We were actually running 15-inch rotors on this car with 6-piston calipers, both front and rear. The rotors were massive. I mean, you could tap it and it would stop at a dime. But what happened was we needed more meat and more tire for the drag strip. We had to go with a 15-inch wheel and, of course, a bigger tire. Well, having a 15-inch wheel, the wheel would not under any means go over those rotors that we were running. So unfortunately, we had to convert back to the stock setup. The car's going to need a parachute anyway. So with the chute on it and the stock brakes, it's fine for the time being. There's really no issues with it. The car stops great and it's doing its job. A lot of people ask me how long has it taken to build this car. I don't believe in ever being done. Anybody who says to you, well, I'm done with my build, I'm a firm believer that does not exist. You're always doing something. But it took us a good 2.5 years until we finally got everything done and it was all buttoned up between having the engine built, brought here, getting it put in, doing all the other stuff. You're always adding something. Something new always comes out. One of the great things about doing this and what's been really a milestone for me is, doing the build and going through this all. I have to say that, having my son being part of it, I mean, we've always, everything we've done, we've built together ever since he was a tiny little kid, which is amazing. But that also led us to opening up our shop, which is RB Power Garage. If you guys want to check it out on Instagram, it's _RB Power Garage. But the great thing is doing everything and going through the builds together and then kind of learning along the way. I think that was awesome. It led us, of course, to a lot of great things too. We've got some great sponsors. Motul USA is one of our sponsors and they've been for years. Stage Wheels is another one of our sponsors, our airlift suspension. We also have a new sponsor just recently, which is Leno's Garage. So Jay Leno's Garage also sponsor us. So a big shout out to all of them. Of course, big shout out to all of our fans, everybody who follows us, both my page, if you want to follow me, it's shop page is _RB Power Garage. My personal page is _RB Power. So yeah, that pretty much sums it up.